our way, we're delving into one of the oldest traditional entertainment themes known to man, the tailgating party.
Yeah!
You'll find no cheese whiz or nasty clam dip on this table. Instead, we're featuring 4 terrific recipes that will feed your hungry crowd, actually make them pause and take notice of what they're eating for once. First off,
food's going to be bigger than the game.
Absolutely.
Could that be?
Well, normally, what did you have? I don't know. I don't remember. Well, this time you're going to.
It was chips.
Chips, yeah. Chips and dip. All right, on this, one of our recipes, we're featuring mustard kielbasa and puff pastry.
Ooh, that sounds good. You can do a lot with that puff pastry. You've done a lot
yes.
with it.
Yes, mother's best helper.
Mm-hmm.
Next, our own very own Shea Bruce is going to show us his beef teriyaki.
Yep, grilling, got to cook with fire.
We're,
If it's got beef and fire, I'm in.
Oh, yes. Plus a new twist on a healthy favorite, the martini salad. And the biggest crowd pleaser on the North American continent, herb roasted cashews.
Oh, they're good.
Oh, yes.
I can hardly wait. So, what are you going to do today?
Well, first of all, Shea Bruce, we need to preheat our oven to 400.
I'll take care of that.
It's your oven. I'm not quite sure how to use it. So first
Push
off...
the button.
Oh, very exciting.
Here we go.
Okay, for our mustard kielbasa...
Right, oven's preheating.
Oven's preheating. For our mustard kielbasa and puff pastry, you'll need 1 pound of kielbasa, 1 sheet of puff pastry, which has been left in the refrigerator overnight to thaw. We're going to use Grey Poupon Dijon mustard and coarse mustard. And that's it. So we're going to start off by...
Now, you did cook the kielbasa.
Yes.
I noticed you pre-browned it or baked it a little bit.
Yes, we've baked it off. I think this eliminates a lot of the grease that comes with it. We've put it in a 400-degree oven for about 25 minutes.
Yeah, it renders out some of the grease. Okay, that makes sense.
Correct.
All right.
And now this is sitting at room temperature. So we're just going to finish with our puff pastry,
Yeah.
roll it out a little bit.
This is a marble pastry stone. They're very good. They you put it in the refrigerator and it keeps it cold. It keeps the puff pastry working well.
Now,
Oh boy, that looks good.
oh yeah, we've combined our Grey Poupon mustard and our coarse grain. We're going to paint our puff pastry all over. Now I'm using the coarse grain mustard because it adds a bit of texture and a zinger flavor to the dish.
Yeah, it looks nice. Looks fancy.
Yeah, so we're going to... Well, the Parker patisserie is nothing but fancy.
In this business, the visual is just as important as the taste.
Absolutely. Now, you could use any type of sausage you want in this recipe if you don't care for kielbasa. But being from Western Pennsylvania, kielbasa and football are kind of like our very own peas and carrots.
Ooh.
So that's what we're using here. Now, we're just going to get the last bits of this onto the puff pastry. Okay. Now, we're going to cut this down, cut it in half, and wait till you see how easy this is. We're going to put one end of our kielbasa here, and we're going to start rolling it up very tightly. And we're going to tuck in our ends and just roll. And that's one.
Wow, kind of like a Polish pig in a blanket.
Exactly. Although this is a tailgating pig.
Tailgating pig in a blanket.
Excuse my shoulder there, Shea Bruce.
Not a problem.
I'm going to do this other guy.
Just want to see how you're doing this.
Tuck in our ends. And you want to pull it so that you've got a nice tight finish. Okay. Now, we have our baking sheet, which is lined with a parchment paper. This prevents it from being browned too much.
Yeah, now the parchment, you can get that like at any supermarket. They just have it in with the wraps and the foil.
Yes, right. It's a little bit more, but it really does save a lot of time and work.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Use this for baking Christmas cookies. Really
Oh,
good.
yes. Cookies, all your baking ingredients.
Yeah, we have the egg wash, the famous egg wash.
Yes, we're going to top this off with a little egg wash. This is going to give it a wonderful golden brown finish. This right on here. It's okay, we've got a little bit of the mustard still on the brush, but that's going to still add some tremendous flavor. So we put this on. Now see how...
Oven's almost there.
This has been approximately 2.5 minutes, and you're preparing a fabulous little appetizer that's so much better than clam dip. So, now all we have left to do is when this puff, it's going to actually literally puff in the oven, hence puff pastry. So we're going to put our little cutting marks right now. So when it comes out, you're going to know exactly where you can cut it for your guests.
You know, when Allison turns 18, we'll let her use a sharp knife.
Someday. Someday. And now we throw this into the oven for approximately 25 minutes. And that's that.
Okay, it's the teriyaki beef. You know me and beef and fire. I gotta have it. This is steak tips or beef tenderloin tips. You can see how wonderful they are. They're all marbleized beautifully. That makes them very, very tender as the fat cooks out of it. one of the things about beef tips is there's no grading of them. I mean, they're all graded choice. But very often when you get them, they're actually prime beef. They can't call them prime because of something I'm not exactly sure. Pat from Dave's Market tried to explain it to me, but beef tips are a real deal.
Is that why they're very inexpensive
Oh
too?
yeah,
Aren't they?
well, relatively compared to like a tenderloin or something like that, and that's why they're so tender. 'Cause, they're really, really good.
Sure.
Anyway, we have a marinade mixed up out of soy sauce, sherry, some orange oil, brown sugar, and one of the things I like is, it's supposed to use garlic and ginger, grated ginger. This is a wonderful tool. It's called a razor plane. This actually started out, body men use these to clean off Bondo.
And my husband uses it on his calluses sometimes.
There you go. Carpenters use them. I mean, that's what it started out as, and some enterprising soul said, hey, I bet you could grate stuff with it, and you really can. I freeze my ginger root. I have one piece in there for slicing or dicing, and then one piece frozen because it grates so much better when it's frozen. Anyway, we put everything all together in here, and through the magic of cinema,
look at that.
we have this already marinating away.
It smells
It doesn't take
wonderful.
too long, but now, after they've been marinated, what we get is skewers. We soak them in water,
Now,
and
why
that
do you do
stops
that?
them from burning.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are going to grill them. So we just get this thing. This is going to be finger food, We are. The idea of this is stuff you can eat with your hands.
Yes.
So we're going to be putting it onto these, the skewers like that. I'm going to be showing you a neat technique to stop the skewers from burning when we're grilling them. It'll be a couple minutes. But anyway, yeah, throw those
Showing the
babies in
curl
there.
here.
Yep.
Oh, now this smells very Asian.
Yes, well it is. It's a teriyaki. It's got the orange oil gives it that kind of smell, and the sesame oil. I use the hot chili sesame oil. It gives it a little bit of a snap to it.
Oh,
This is very good.
wonderful.
Oh yeah.
So much better than Cheese Whiz and Triscuits. Oh.
I went down to Philadelphia once. I was doing some business down there, and I had to get a real Philly cheesesteak.
Oh.
And believe it or not, Philly cheesesteak is made with Cheese Whiz. Yeah, but it was outrageous. I mean, I use Cheese Whiz in my macaroni and cheese. I hide it. I hide the can so nobody knows. I mean, it's a trade secret. Now, you guys, everybody in the
I'm
whole
never
world
eating
knows, but
macaroni and your Shaver's
I make very good macaroni and cheese. We had it last year in the comfort food
You should
show.
call it macaroni and cheese whiz.
Macaroni and cheese. Well, I always want to know how much whiz is in Cheese Whiz. Okay, and we're all set with
right.
these, and we're going to be grilling these, and it's going to come out really, really good.
Oh,